Open your eyes.
During E3, Nintendo had a special focus on their next big Zelda game, which is now titled The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. There was a lot of speculation beforehand regarding what Nintendo would be showing of this new Zelda game. During E3, Nintendo revealed a new trailer and plenty of gameplay. Now it seems kind of obvious that any upcoming game in a franchise could be the best, so what makes Breath of the Wild stand out? Here are 3 reasons why The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild looks different from any Zelda game we've ever seen. Number 1 is the unique art style and setting. Over the years, the games in the Legend of Zelda series have boasted an assortment of art styles, some notably prettier than others. The art style in this game looks fresh. It falls somewhere between the aesthetic of Skyward Sword and the notably cartoonish Wind Waker. The setting, too, is quite interesting. The game is set in the ruins of what was once the beautiful kingdom of Hyrule. This is after Link is awoken in some sort of resurrection chamber after a very long time. What's happened to Link? And indeed, what's happened to the world? That's going to be a mystery worth digging into, though it does seem that this is set in a timeline in which Link's previous adventure, whatever it was, has gone horribly terribly wrong. Now, the art style's not too realistic. Everything seems kind of softly shaded, but not totally cel-shaded. It looks a lot more like a watercolor painting come to life. According to what we've heard from Nintendo, the game draws a lot on gouache paintings and anime. While its art style is quite unique, it seems to maintain the Zelda motif. And on that note, number 2. It's changing the formula, while staying true to itself. Besides its fresh art style, this new Legend of Zelda game introduces fresh gameplay elements. For instance, Link can finally jump. In a lot of ways, this game feels influenced by other games. The world is significantly more open than other Zelda games. Link has stamina to worry about when climbing, he can take weapons from his enemies to use as his own, there's cooking, hunting, setting fires. Link can even cut down trees. There are survival elements as well. Link has to worry about staying warm and well fed while he's out adventuring. It's funny how in a lot of ways this new game resembles Okami, which was itself largely inspired by previous Legend of Zelda games. For all the changes, however, this new game is still very much Zelda. For instance, this is symbolized by the game's Japanese version of the logo, which has been designed in a way to resemble the art for the original Legend of Zelda. Nostalgic packaging isn't necessarily indicative that a game will be any good, of course. For that, we have to look at the game's package as a whole, which brings us to number 3. The meld of elements, which could make for amazing moments. Now, I'm a big fan of what's known as emergent gameplay, that is, when you have moments in a game that feel totally natural, like you came to a solution all on your own without the game guiding you to it. When you put together elements to solve a puzzle in a way that the game hasn't predefined for you. Based on what I've seen of the demos thus far, it seems that Breath of the Wild will let you make your own fun in a lot of ways. You have to consider the game's dynamic weather. The environments are quite affected by precipitation, and you, in turn, are affected by the temperature, and this all affects the way that you play the game. During one of Nintendo's E3 demonstrations with Scott Moffat, for instance, he lined up some explosive barrels and had them blow up in sequence just to show it could be done. You can use these elements in a variety of ways to solve puzzles, fight enemies, or otherwise play the game. You can set fires in the high grass, any mountains you see in the distance, or walls of ruins that are nearby. You can climb those and explore. Link has a glider, and hopping off the edge of a cliff doesn't mean jumping over the edge of the world and plunging to your death. You could glide down and see whatever's at the bottom of the cliff, be it treasures, or enemies, or a new puzzle, or what have you. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wind is coming to the Wii U and the Nintendo NX. What do you think about Breath of the Wind? Will this game really shake things up in the Zelda franchise, or are my ideas about Zelda completely wrong? You can let us know on Twitter. Be sure to follow us at Blackman and Robin for all the latest game news, reviews, previews, and interviews. Follow me at Jordan_Cameron for my own views.